The next step we're going to illustrate is adding the manual lift to the straight push tube. The manual lift is only going to work with the straight push tube. It's not going to work with the articulating one. Where you want to start is you want to start at the rear end of the push tube, move the swivel plate up, and then we're going to put 2 bushings into the bottom portion of the straight push tube. It may be helpful when you're installing the bushings to loosen the bolts just next to it. That may give it just enough play to help the bushings go in easier. Once we've got the bushing pushed into the bracket, then we'll mount the bracket to the pivot bracket. We'll leave these bolts loose as we assemble the rest of the bracket. Add the shaft through the middle. We've got the rear shaft threaded through all 3 bushings. Now we'll move to the front part and we'll install the U-shaped bracket. Make sure that it's pushed all the way up against this portion of the push tube. We'll have long carriage bolts that go all the way through. The next step is to install the bushings on the bracket. We've installed the front bracket, secured it with the long carriage bolts, and then added the 2 bushings. You want to make sure that the side that you're attaching the shaft to has the head of the carriage bolt so that there's no interference with the nuts. Now we'll install the shaft. You'll put the washer on. You want to make sure when you're installing the shaft that you're above this piece on the push tube so that it sits on the top side. Once you've installed the front shaft, lay the push tube flat and then install the axle cap. Next we'll attach the linkage rod. What you want to do is take the linkage rod, lay it next to the push tube. We're going to install the nuts on the end. Install the heim joint. Next we'll attach each end of the heim joint to the bolt. Add a washer and a nut. And tighten both ends. We've got both ends assembled so you can see the movement here. You'll notice on the long piece of the handle that you've got slotted positions here for a different angle for the quad that you're using. Once you've got the plow and the handle assembled on the quad, you can use this as an adjustment point. Then we'll attach the handle. You'll notice that there are 2 different positions on this also for adjustment purposes. We've got our handle attached to the manual lift. We'll put our grip on the top piece. The last 2 pieces of the manual lift will be the adjustment chain and strap. This portion of the chain attaches to the front bracket, and then depending on lift height, you'll thread the strap through whichever link in the chain. Then this strap will attach to the front rack of your ATV. And that's the procedure for attaching your manual lift to your straight push tube.